Yet again, Gigi Hadid was as of late captured over drug ownership, and her mother, Yolanda, is getting hauled by fans for being a poisonous, controlling guardian. Gigi Hadid captured on Mary Jane charges in the Cayman Islands. The supermodel alongside buddy Leo McCarthy were brought to prison last week. Yolanda's controlling ways have been legitimate, and she was recently blamed for empowering Gigi to foster an Ed. How are you? I'm feeling truly feeble. We generally have several almonds. Bite them all around well in light of the fact that your stomach isn't sufficient. Other than that, Yolanda obviously preferred Gigi over her other two children, and she dealt with Gigi like her prodigy. You sit close to Omar. I will sit close to Gigi. I'm full. I had 200 barbecued cheeses. So how did Yolanda respond to her prodigy getting captured? Is it true or not that she will turn out to be considerably seriously controlling after this? The mother and girl relationship is the main relationship in your life. Yolanda Hadid is by and by standing out as truly newsworthy for being a poisonous, self-centered parent after supposedly disgracing Gigi over her new capture in the Cayman Islands. In the event that you missed it, on July 10th, Gigi and her companion, Leah Nicole McCarthy, were captured at Owen Roberts Worldwide Air Terminal in the Cayman Islands and accused of Mary Jane ownership. As Gigi was going through customs with her baggage, the boundary control specialist tracked down a limited quantity of Mary Jane in the wake of filtering her effects, and Gigi and Leah were both brought to prison. They were subsequently delivered on bail. Also, on July 12th, they were officially charged. Also, subsequent to conceding, they were both fined $1,000. Gigi representative later told E! News that Gigi was going with pot bought legitimately in New York City with a clinical permit, adding that Mary Jane has been lawful for clinical use in Fantastic Cayman beginning around 2017. Her record stays clear and she partook in the remainder of her experience on the island, the rep said. So as may be obvious, nothing emotional occurred. Furthermore, Gigi wound up remaining in the Cayman Islands until the end of her getaway. Yet, it seems to be Gigi's mother, Yolanda, won't allow this to go unaddressed effectively, and she's supposedly previously disgracing Gigi over this episode. Presently, assuming this were some other celeb mother, a great many people would likely respond decidedly and acclaim Yolanda for considering responsible for her errors. Notwithstanding, fans who have a profound knowledge of Yolanda's harmful relationship with her children are saying Gigi would likely decide to remain in the slammer and face Yolanda at the present time. Furthermore, this is on the grounds that Yolanda has a long history of behaving like a self-centered and manipulative parent, interfering in Gigi's affection life and essentially controlling each and every part of her life down to the quantity of calories she eats a day. To give you only a couple of models, since Gigi was a teen, Yolanda was pushing her to turn into a model, and she was panicked to such an extent that Gigi would put on weight that she began fanatically controlling her food consumption. I'm so invigorated for the food. Basically, all the food that we're eating resembles a coronary failure and a dinner. It's like, yet it will be so great. It's benefit. You can have one evening of being terrible, correct? I was very great this week. No doubt. However, and afterward you got to get once again into your eating regimen. However, then you got to get back on your eating regimen. That's it. Awesome. Great. Since, in Paris, in Milan, they like the young ladies somewhat on the thin side. Young ladies somewhat on the thin side. There have been many clasps of Yolanda essentially telling Gigi not to eat and offering her perilous guidance on the most proficient method to smother her craving, including that time she broadly advised her to eat a solitary almond and bite it all around well. How are you? I'm feeling truly powerless. Like generally have 2 or 3 almonds, bite them all around well in light of the fact that your stomach isn't. Another viral clasp showed Yolanda telling Gigi at a graduation celebration that she can have a portion of a portion of a portion of a cake cut. This is the hardest for being on our eating regimen. However, I must have a nibble for good karma. I'm not really awful. No, that is too large. The portion of that. This is you. Guess what? I feel that is. I'll do this. How is it? I can't really accept that you recently did that. Yolanda was likewise faulted for Gigi's sister, Bella's Ed, after Bella let Vogue know that when she was in secondary school, she'd load her lunch with 3 raspberries and a celery stick. Bella likewise uncovered that she was continually informed that she's the uglier sister, and when she was 14, Yolanda took her to find a nose line of work. In the meantime, Yolanda never attempted to conceal that Gigi was her prodigy, and she basically treated Bella and her child Anwar as foundation characters. Obviously, this drove Bella to revolutionary, and when she was 17, she was captured for DUI. Also, think about what Yolanda did. Rather than offering Bella the consideration she clearly was searching for, she composed a horrendous letter calling her a ruined, selfish, unthoughtful, imprudent person. Yolanda likewise appeared to be totally unmindful of her own missteps as a parent, and she continued to gaslight Bella. Composing was your life that horrible at home? How have I merited this? Nonetheless, Yolanda actually kept on putting every last bit of her emphasis on Gigi, not understanding that Bella was carrying on unequivocally in light of the fact that Yolanda was leaning toward Gigi over her and a NWR and a NWR. Yolanda kept on controlling each part of Gigi's life a ways into her 20s, and she is accepted to have caused Gigi's detachment from Zayn Malik. Yolanda allegedly never demonstrated Hussein. What's more, there's been a great deal of theory that this is a result of Zayn's nationality, since Yolanda has shown a few bigoted propensities before. You must learn English. You know, you're in America. We communicate in English here. All year, Gigi's eyes a tad as an afterthought. So in light of her high eyebrows, since it makes it look Chinese truly fast. Definitely certain. I'm doing whatever it takes not to get too associated with her cosmetics. I've given her tips saying, you know, in the event that you're with a cosmetics craftsman, advise her to do a bit. Keep your eyes generally round and enormous so they pop. Not the Chinese looking, you know, since that is not really great for her face. And afterward, that very day, Zayn gave an assertion uncovering that Yolanda burst into his home, excluded, and the main explanation he made a deal to avoid challenging her cases was for his little girl's protection. I stubbornly denied striking Yolanda Hadid, and for my little girl I declined to give any further subtleties, Zayn said, additionally adding that he trusts Yolanda will reevaluate her bogus claims and move towards mending these family issues in private. What does Yolanda need to say regarding that? Another public disgrace letter for Gigi this time. One fan tweeted and another fan added, Yolanda Hadid is the self-absorbed parent advisors discuss on TikTok. However, we should hear your considerations on Yolanda's relationship with Gigi. Do you suppose Yolanda is harmful and controlling? Remark down underneath and try to look at this next video.